Right now, you are staring at a flat sheet of glass. A smooth, cold rectangle that glows in the dark. Your thumb sweeps across its surface, chasing a cascade of vibrant colors and flashing shapes. You feel a tiny, satisfying pulse of satisfaction with every single swipe. It feels entirely natural. But the real answer to why you cannot look away is far stranger than you think. Your mind is currently trapped in a brilliant synthetic hallucination. You are hunting for ghosts that your ancestors never could have imagined. Why does your brain crave things that do not actually exist in the physical world? To find out, you have to look at how your mind was built. For nearly all of human history, reality was incredibly simple. If you wanted something sweet, you had to find a rare, hidden beehive. If you wanted social validation, you had to sit by a campfire and talk to someone. Everything your brain wanted was directly tied to survival. Then, the world changed completely. The things you desire today are no longer real objects, but superstimuli. In the 1950s, a brilliant biologist named Nikolaas Tinbergen noticed something strange about birds. He was studying the greylag goose, an animal that carefully rolls eggs back into its nest. Tinbergen decided to play a trick on the goose. He placed a giant, bright green wooden egg just outside her nest. It did not look like a real egg. It was completely fake, oversized, and ridiculously bright. Yet, the goose ignored her own natural eggs. She stretched her neck out and desperately tried to nurse the giant wooden block. Her brain was hardwired to think that bigger and brighter meant better. She could not help it. Tinbergen called this a supernormal stimulus. It is an exaggerated version of reality that triggers an ancient, unstoppable instinct. You are not a goose, but your brain uses the exact same software. Think about the food you ate today. A modern glazed donut does not exist in nature. It contains a concentration of sugar, fat, and salt that is mathematically impossible in the wild. When your tongue tastes it, your brain assumes you just discovered a magical, calorie-dense superfruit. It floods your system with dopamine. You are not reacting to the donut itself, but to an evolutionary phantom. The same thing happens when you open a social media app. In a prehistoric tribe, a red notification did not exist. A number ticking upward next to your face did not exist. But social approval did exist, and it meant life or death. If your tribe liked you, you were protected from predators. If they ignored you, you starved in the cold. So your brain became hypersensitive to signs of social validation. Today, software engineers have turned that deep evolutionary fear into a colorful graphic. When you see a little red icon, your brain interprets it as a crowd of people cheering for you. It feels like a massive tribal victory. But nobody is actually cheering. It is just a few pixels changing color on a glass plate. You are chasing a phantom version of human connection. Harvard psychologist Deirdre Barrett studied this exact phenomenon in modern human culture. She discovered that our deepest instincts are constantly being hijacked by things that are artificial. Look at video games. Your ancestors spent thousands of years tracking prey, building shelters, and conquering territory. These activities required months of grueling, dangerous physical effort. When they succeeded, their brains rewarded them with a powerful sense of conquest. Now, look at what happens when you play a game on your console. You press a series of plastic buttons with your fingers. On the screen, a digital character levels up, gains gold, and conquers a kingdom. Your ancient brain cannot tell the difference between the screen and reality. It genuinely believes you just saved the tribe from a saber-toothed cat. It gives you a massive rush of accomplishment while you sit perfectly still in a dark room. You are experiencing the deep satisfaction of a victory that never actually happened. Is this a flaw in your design? No. It is actually a sign that your brain is working perfectly. For 200,000 years, this exact system kept your ancestors alive. They survived because they were relentlessly drawn to things that offered high rewards. The problem is that the world changed in the blink of an eye, while your biology stood still. You are walking around with Paleolithic hardware inside a hyper-modern software environment, and the people who design modern products understand this perfectly. In the early 2000s, Stanford researcher B.J. Fogg founded the Persuasive Technology Lab. He studied how computers could be used to alter human behavior permanently. He realized that if you make a digital action easy enough and attach a variable reward to it, Humans will do it compulsively. Think of a slot machine. You pull a lever and you have no idea if you will win or lose. That exact uncertainty makes your brain release massive amounts of dopamine. Now look at your favorite apps. When you pull down on your screen to refresh a feed, the animation delays for a split second. That delay is entirely artificial. It simulates the spinning wheels of a slot machine. Will you see a boring post, or will you see something incredible? The uncertainty hooks your ancient hunter-gatherer instincts. You keep pulling the lever, searching the digital bushes for a piece of fruit that isn't there. This creates a profound counterintuitive twist in your daily life. The more these artificial phantoms satisfy your ancient instincts, the less appealing real life becomes. Why walk through a quiet forest when you can explore a neon digital universe? Why have a difficult conversation with a friend when you can get instant validation from strangers online? Why eat a simple plain apple when a processed snack can blast your taste buds with infinite flavor? Real life starts to feel slow, boring, and colorless. You begin to experience a strange kind of modern starvation. You are entirely surrounded by abundance, yet you feel completely unfulfilled because your brain is consuming massive amounts of stimuli, but it never gets the actual substance it is looking for. You are like that gray-lag goose ignoring your real life to sit on a giant wooden egg. So, what is the solution? You cannot simply delete your ancient brain. You cannot rewire millions of years of evolutionary history by sheer willpower. But you can begin to notice the phantoms for what they are. The next time you feel an overwhelming urge to check your phone, pause for a second. Look at the craving. Realize that your ancient survival mechanism is simply reacting to an artificial spark. You do not actually want the notification. You want the tribal safety that your brain thinks the notification represents. When you understand this, the spell begins to break. You can step away from the glowing screen and look at the physical room around you. Tonight, you will likely find yourself looking down at a flat sheet of glass. A smooth, cold rectangle glowing silently in the dark.